Hello there, good morning everybody. This is Pastor Shibu John from Toronto, Canada. On the 29th of August 2025, this morning, we are going to meditate from Galatians chapter 1 and verse 15. Galatians chapter 1 and verse 15. But when it pleased God, who separated me from my mother's womb and called me up through his grace. Our focal point for today's meditation is remember to leave room for God. Remember to leave room for God. In order to show his Galatian readers that what he taught them about Christ came directly from Christ, Apostle Paul is reminding them of his own story. He has described his years in Judaism when he was a Pharisee. He was so opposed to Jesus of Nazareth that he arrested, imprisoned, and approved of the killing of Christians. He was so zealous for the traditions that he advanced beyond his aristocracies in Jewish leadership. Then everything changed. Apostle Paul's story is that God appeared to him and turned him around. We read that in the book of Acts chapter 9 verses 1 to 22. And looking back, Paul says he now understands that God set him apart for this role of apostle before he was even born, even before the foundations of this world. In other words, Paul didn't simply rethink his life and change course. God intervened to put Paul in the role God had destined him to fill. And Paul writes that God called him by his grace. He understood that just as nobody earns status before God, he had not earned the role of apostle. And he only represented Christ Jesus to the Galatians and to everyone else by the grace of God. God did this to him. He did not choose it. He simply received it from God the Father through his Son Jesus Christ. The question here is, have you learned how to leave space for God? To give him a little elbow room to work in your life? You know what? Too often as we go about making our plans, we forget to leave a place for God to come in as he chooses. We say that this or that will happen, but none of our predictions leave room for the element of divine surprise. Would we be shocked if God came into our meetings, our prayers, or our preaching in a way we had never expected? However well we think we know God, we can never know exactly what he will do. What we can know is that when it pleases him, he will break in. This is the great lesson to learn, that at any minute God may arrive. We tend to overlook this element of surprise, and yet God never works in any other way. So keep in constant, intimate contact with God so that his surprising power may break through at any time and any place. Always be in a state of expectancy and remember to leave room for the Lord to intervene in your personal life, into your personal activities, into your official matters, in your public life. And do not look for God to come in any particular way, but do look for him always, all the time, every day, to glorify his name. And let me remind you one more time, always remember to leave room for God. Have a very blessed day and God be with you.